get over the third forever fucking subtitles. Just fucking read the damn thing, God damn it.
Dude, there's so many fucking illiterate people out there. Which, that's the bit, you know, that is the ultimate argument for sub versus dub, and that includes anime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'll put in my 2 cents on this for anime. 2 different things. One, if I saw the anime originally dubbed because that's how I was introduced to it, I'll get used to that. Yes, I'll watch it sub, especially if it's something brand new, and yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to watch the sub of Dragon Ball Z because
that's
I grew up on, I grew up on the dubbed version. And I'm not gonna lie, I never imagined Goku that high-pitched.
Right? Is so different, honestly. And then, second thing I learned about watching like other animes is if I feel like I'm not gonna be invested as much, or I feel lazy about watching it, I will put the dub version so I can listen to it and not have to watch the actual thing while I'm, let's say, doing something in the background, like on a fucking laundry or something. Like, I'm trying to catch up on the anime of Boruto because I saw the manga and different spoilers, crazy things here and there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch up on the anime.
Oh yeah,
let me catch up on
I
this.
might have been one of the people.
Awesome. And when I was watching it subbed, I'm like, it's not the same. So I watch it dubbed. Okay, I can listen to it, pay attention more, and just catch the actual like visual here and there while doing other things. And I was more able to, I guess, follow along with it dubbed because everything else in Naruto previously I watched dubbed as well. So the voices I also kind of helped just to listen to it. I'm like, okay, I don't have to watch it. I can listen to what they're saying and follow along.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If it's just something that you want to have on in the background, you know what? Dub makes sense. Although,
still catch up to it. 'Cause I want to see the whole 180 episodes of season 1.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the issue that I have with like sub and dub is the reason I always trash on sub so much or on dub so much is because I understand the language, and because I understand the language, you can when a line is fucking.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them around.
It's hard to deliver a line like that, well. And if it's in English, it sticks out.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
It just kind of.
I'll get back to work.
Say it, and it hangs out there, and it's like, oh, that was a serious moment. It's like, well, no, that was cringy as shit. It's hilarious, which it's supposed to be delivered as serious, but because it was translated, and I understood how bad that sounded, it falls flat.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in the original language, it's like, shit, I don't speak Japanese. That could have been cringy as shit. Dude, that seemed like a really good delivery to me.
I get that. Another thing that I learned about sub versus dub, obviously, because if I seen dub first, I'll rewatch it in sub because obviously I prefer that. But, like, I'll know what they cut short. Like, when they cut corners on translating phrases and stuff like that? Like, I'll know what words they replaced or cut short for the actual dub. It's just like, okay, they're much more formal and, sophisticated in the sub when you read the subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, half that fucking phrase. Like, hold on. Subtitle says this long-ass fucking phrase, whatever. Normal. Like, no, not
the
that
dub is just like, in the sub is like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, and this and that, this is so-and-so, and then, the dub is like, hey, what up, nigga?
Right. That's not supposed to translate it, do it right, please. Like, no. So knowing how much they can cut corners and, change the entire thing and read something else that are way different, and knowing that they are, it's like, I'd rather just read sub and know what the whole phrase is,
Yeah. Oh, so Javi, the movie that I was mentioning earlier, the horror film, it's called The Taking of Deborah Logan. That's the one with like a creepy... The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Why is it always some random chick's name? Deborah Logan, Extras of Emily Rose. It's always some sort of female they target in these movies.
Alright, so this movie is pretty much about...
Ricky, you remember that Spectre sweep we did, that Mena ran, where we were like in the car and we were fucking walking around?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the fucking name of that spirit? Because, you know, we made that fucking little Spectre Sweep short in GTA.
Uh-huh.
Her name was Samantha Rose. Why is it, you know?
Because of the exorcism of Emily Rose.
I was gonna say, it always feels like they're Rose. Something Rose.
I've seen it in a lot of horror movies, like through broad spectrum of horror movies, that unless it's a little kid that's usually, I guess, a boy, every other target is a female or a little girl. Even in the original Exorcist, the one that's from 19-something, the like OG one that everyone, you know, loves, in the movie it's a little girl. But in actuality, with the story that was based on, it's a little boy. But for the film, they put a little girl. I guess because it captures the audience more or something, and it's always
that's just creepy.
Dark Skies.
Yeah.
It's the little the younger sister. And I think it's Before I Wake, it's a little boy. And the Babadook, it's a little boy. So more modern ones have it, but all the older ones usually some sort of little girl or some female.
I think like the main horror movie protagonist, where it's like a little. There's two where it's like, you know, a little boy and it's pretty memorable. Is Chucky?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Andy. And then fuck, what was it? It just had not Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring. Was it The Conjuring? I think it's The Conjuring.
Or one of them in the Conjuring universe, because there's so many of them now.
Well, was The Conjuring the one where, you know, it's like the little boy, and like he would astral project, that was the thing, and he got captured by some fucking demon? Which one was that one? Oh, Insidious.
Yeah, there was Insidious, yeah. Also in the Conjuring universe. Well, cinematic universe, because now it's a whole fucking thing, even with La Llorona.
I'll be honest with you all. I never saw The Conjuring. Never.
It was okay. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like to the hype that everybody makes it to, but you know, it's an alright flick to watch.
The last movie I saw in theaters that was overly hyped for being, well, I mean, it was hyped pretty good. It was a good movie. For being scary, it was Haunting in Connecticut.
Never saw that one.
It's one of those that also based on true story, so it makes it all the more scary. And it's,
dude, I can never like hear that the same way after MatPat did a video on that where it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't have to actually be based on a true story.
That makes you wonder what is and what isn't, huh?
Yeah, see, that's the bit, you know. I told my coworker that, and he's like, "No, you're full of shit." And I'm like, "No, it's actually true. I mean, there's nothing, you know, legally requiring them to actually, you know, be telling a true story."
At least, if you do your own research, or the directors have the courtesy of like showing the original picture or the actual like beginning of what the story came from, it makes more sense. Like in The Conjuring, it shows the picture of the original family from the household, you know?
Yeah.
Or
like if you have photographic
like that, like,
evidence,
okay,
it's like,
yeah.
oh yeah. If it's something that you can easily look up and confirm, like, okay, you know, somewhat this was kind of based on a true thing.
The actual Annabelle doll. Or the actual Billy doll, which apparently is like a lot lesser than the Annabelle doll.
Look, man, I'm just waiting for them to like go off the walls where it's like, you know, it's the Warren family versus the Annabelle doll, and it's like an anime fight, you know, they use the power of friendship, and it's like based on a true story, and then
like, hold the fuck
then
up.
People will be like, no, hold up, bullshit. There were no katana slashes. Why are Americans using a katana?
Wait, it gets better. What the hell is that person standing behind Annabelle? And everybody that knows JoJo will be, oh, it's a stand.
Oh my god, fucking...
It's a fucking JoJo reference.
Wait, hold on. Actually, hang on. If you think about it...
It's gonna be Annabelle and Chucky team up or some shit.
If you think about it, you know, if you just have a ghost possessing a person, isn't that basically just a stand?
Technically, yes, by technicality, yes.
Now, I'm saying this, I've never seen JoJo. I want you to know that.
Same.
Oh my god, dude!
And I don't care to.
I know that fucking walking meme where it's the person.
Yes.
You dare come to me?
I can't beat the shit out of you without getting any closer.
Oh, come as close as you can. Jojo, Dio, oh.
Dude, to be
there are
honest,
some enemies where just the style of the animation itself will be like, it doesn't catch my interest. Like the way
sometimes
the fucking ridiculous. Like I just can't. I get where some look, crazy and like, oh yeah, blue and orange hair, that's natural. Okay, cool. But like the ones in JoJo are like, what the fuck? Are those even lips, or that is a fucking another pair of hands?
I'd like to point out, like, the motherfuckers in JoJo, some of them are like buff as shit, and it's like, holy fuck. But then, it's like, oh yeah, that dude, he's like 14 years old. Excuse me? No, he's a full-grown ass man. Fucking miss me with that, he's 14.
Oh yeah, in season 1 with Jonathan, yeah, he's pretty fucking buff, and it's like, oh yeah, at this age, he's just like 14 years old, and it's like, excuse me, Englishmen in the 1800s being that buff? I fucking doubt it. And by the time
they show the fucking anime schoolgirls with the fucking skirt, double D's, and they're like in 8th grade.
Okay, no, hang on. If we really want to get into that, let's. Shit, this might. Okay, dude, it's a little racist. I was gonna say, I'm like, look, come on, let's take a look at most Asians. Let's be real, most of them ain't got.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't Japan like decide to sexualize the anime girls just because that's how they perceived us Americans, like lusting over? Where like, yeah, you got them double D's, you got them thick dump trucks.
I mean, we would have to take a look at like the origin of anime and shit like that, because I mean, that's the bit. A lot of like character design and shit, that's made or that makes it into anime. Not all of that is shit that makes it over to America. So to say that it's like, oh yeah, they make the big ass titties because it's something Americans like. Japan doesn't give a shit what Americans like.
Oh yeah. Especially when it comes down to Tokusatsu and basically Power Rangers and Super Sentai, and like of how differentiate those two series are, even though they're basically somewhat the same, but a little different.
Actually, hang on, Ricky. I was talking about this to a few guys the other day. I was reminded of fucking Power Rangers, and how my favorite one was fucking Lost Galaxy. Right. And Walmart actually has the complete series on DVD for like $14, and I was like, oh my god, I could just own that. And I'm like, wait, hold up, I should tell Ricky he can look for Lightspeed Rescue.
Oh my god, yes.
Dude. I was actually reading about Power Rangers, the Psycho Rangers to be exact, because I was scrolling through Facebook. The Psycho Rangers. It's pretty much the evil rain. I forgot which season of Power Rangers.
They appeared in space. They appeared in space.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so pretty much Psycho Rangers are like the evil counterparts for the Space Rangers, but they're more like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill you no matter what, and nothing's gonna stop us. But like somehow they end up having people stopping them, and it's like, But in the comics, it gets hella fucking dark.
Oh yeah, I've been, yeah, he ain't wrong when he says that.
Because I actually read the comics with the Green Psycho Ranger, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, it makes the original Green Ranger look like nothing. Ricky left.
Ricky died.
He's back! Jesus has been reincarnated.
Oh god, this is unfortunate.
But yeah, if you ever have the chance to read like the comic series of Power Rangers, read the ones with the Psycho Rangers, and you'll understand like the brutality of that like whole series.
I heard it was actually the most controversial Power Rangers story to ever be told.
Really?
Yeah. Like within the fandom, and to me, it's just like I don't think it's all that bad, or let alone like, because to be honest, I feel like it's time for Power Rangers to have more of a dark, gritty take, or at least somewhat dark.
Oh, like the fan-made animation that they did a couple years back, no?
Yeah, and I said this to Kiko. I said if Lupin Ranger versus Patuan Ranger ever gets adapted into America as Power Rangers, fucking expect me to audition a role as a Power Ranger in that fucking series. Just expect.
Here's my take on the whole, let's make it great. I disagree, because a lot of what we enjoy, or at least, what we enjoyed, the reason that we liked it was because it was what it was, and making it, like, gritty, just to, like, have that idea of, like, now it's more mature. Gritty and dark does not equal mature, I think we need to stop, like, let's make let's make Dora the Explorer into a movie, but make it gritty and dark, and Boots.
I mean, it's not
Boots being Dora clapping gorilla.
I mean, I should reword what I'm saying. Is that I feel like you could make it somewhat dark. You don't have to make it gritty, just as long as the story's good, and it still maintains that same feeling as the original Power Rangers, or Mighty Morphin era.
Well, the thing is, when we were kids, I don't think we cared as much about the story as just what kids like. Colors, action, fight scenes, and explosions.
Yeah,
what
basically
it had all of that. The same audience from all those years ago, like, they're older. Not try to keep up the new kids, keep the original audience from the 90s, and try to grow the series with us. Like, well, no, we wanted what the original stuff was. You don't have to change it to modernize it at all. It's like, let our kids get what we got. That's the joy of it. Like, I would love to have a kid one day and let them see what I got into as it was, not the modernized version of it with fucking Twitter or some shit and these memes.
Like, hey, you little shit, take a look at my Power Rangers. Back in my day, we had the Megazord, and the Rangers weren't taking Instagram selfies.
I feel like if I were
that's why I think they're trying to modernize it with everything, and try to either follow the current audience too much, or trying to keep the original audience up to date. And it's like, no, we want the original stuff what we fell into in the first place.
Most Power Ranger fans I've talked to, they've honestly just want Power Rangers to have a somewhat of a decent story. Like they said, like I remember a couple of people in a Discord server that I'm in mentioned that they liked Beast Morphers, but when it hit season 2, it was just bad. And for me, I do somewhat agree. And like when watching Super Sentai, it's somewhat mature. It can be dark at times. It can just be very fucked up at certain points, and especially. Go first. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Just the story bit, like, honestly, that follows because it's in a world where every episode was nearly identical. Team of kids, or teenagers rather, threat from fucking space to underground or another planet. We fight it, battle, death, or they win, yay. That's literally all the series was, is repetitive battles in the same format. There was no story to really invest in it. Like, big enemy, big sword, big robots, explosion, bigger explosion. That's all the entire series was from the get-go. Like, not really much of a story to formalize. Like, a fucking alien from planet whatever. Yeah, that makes total sense. Whatever, let's fight it.
I'm gonna have to recommend you to watch Mystic Force, Dino Thunder, and RPM, because those had way good stories. And RPM, I would say, has to be the darkest Power Rangers series. Well, it's not like so dark, it's so fucking gritty and stuff.
Isn't RPM the one where? Oh, shit, hold on. Because I'm remembering a certain Power Ranger group where number 2 got jealous of number 1 and wanted to be number 1 because, hey, my dad was number 1, but he died while being while doing something heroic, and I deserve that. But yeah, my arrogance is constantly like my downfall, and I won't get number 1 until like after.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of stories. The basic premise of Power Rangers that, you know, since it's American TV, it'll hit a lot of the same tropes, and, you know, that is one of the ones where the Lancer character feels jealous of, you know, the protagonist for whatever fucking reason, which is usually the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
But, like, there's that type of episode, there's the episode, what do you call it, where, oh god, guys, we've got clones of ourselves. You know, how can we tell the difference?
Yeah, and Ricky, to answer your question, I believe that's from, if I'm correct, I believe that's either from SPD or it is from RPM.
Okay, it's SPD. I want to say it's SPD.
Okay,
all I remember from SPD is that, you know, the dog is the police chief and he is also a Power Ranger.
Yes.
Kruger, yeah, it's explained in his origin in Super Sentai, which different mask, but let me be real here. I would say like SPD and Deca Ranger are both good in their own right. Same thing can be said with Go Anja and RPM. RPM so far for me has been somewhat good. I'm currently on episode 3 at the moment. I'm still like rewatching all the series. Like anything can be said with Super Sentai. And
I can't invite you either in the session. For some reason, won't let me matchmake.
You're not able to like create the session either.
Like, it won't let me go to the matchmaking option.
I don't know what's going on because.
I'm gonna try from the maximum menu. I just put continue, and usually I just add people from there, and you have to make a new session.
This is a nice.
I don't know. I need to ask Allie how she does it because I know that her, Kim, and Monica usually play this.
Oh yeah.
But I'll definitely if you want a Power Ranger series that tells somewhat of a good story, like a very good story. I would definitely, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed, Time Force, RPM, Mystic Force, SPD, and Dino Thunder. The ones I would definitely recommend.
This is sounding like a lot of the original ones.
Yeah, slightly.
Like a lot of the older ones.
Yeah, slightly. But I believe. But here's the thing. With Dino Thunder, Mystic Force, SPD, RPM, Operation Overdrive, Ninja Storm are all within the Disney era, like when Disney owned Power Rangers.
Did Disney ever own Power? Excuse me?
Yeah, they did, but the original creator Saban. Yes.
Storm. Is that the one where where they use their like morphers to actually inscribe words and then they morph into
That's Samurai.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, hold up a fucking minute.
Yeah, that's Samurai. Ninja Storm, Mystic Force. Actually, I already said it. But yeah. Those were basically by Disney. Like those series were somewhat created by Disney or adapted by Disney. Like, so yeah, Power Rangers at one point was owned. Oh, I forgot Jungle Fury. Also, Jungle Fury was owned by Disney at one point, but then Saban was the one who bought the rights back, and that's when we had a very shitty series. Well, I mean, Samurai was pretty decent from this first season, but the second season was shit. Now we
the one that I hate, the thing that I hate about Samurai the most was, oh, I've been training enough to become the Red Ranger. Plot twist. Sister's the true Red Ranger. I'm just the backup.
It fucking made more sense in fucking in Shinkenger than fucking Samurai.
Dude,
and
not gonna fucking lie, I was just like, you know, I had nothing better to do but like try to get back into Power Rangers, and as soon as that like one episode happened, I was just like, hold the fuck up. When did what? Why am I being told all of this? How did this become to be? And then there was like a little flashback, and I'm just like, that's not doing it for me. And then somehow the sister's like, yeah, you're the true Red Ranger all along. Yeah, you know how to do this.
God. Again, that shit pissed me off. But at the same time, it didn't piss me off more than what fucking Megaforce and Super Megaforce did. When I heard all the hate back then about Megaforce and Super Megaforce, I didn't understand it at first. But after watching Go Sager and Go Kaiger, holy fucking crap. It's like, what a disrespectful season to not only to the fans, but just the seasons that were adapted. Like, you watch Go Kaiger, you see the amount of love and care put into it. Like, even as an anniversary season, like from what I read about when it came down to the making of Go Kaiger, when it came down an anniversary season, a lot of the past actors who played past Super Sentais wanted to come back. They all wanted to come back and wanted to be in this anniversary season.
Huh.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm alright. Like, this is where you've lost me in the conversation. I have no idea.
Yeah, I stopped watching Rangers a long time ago. I can't really get back into it.
I know,
like,
at this point.
The last one that you mentioned that, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when that was a thing, but at the same time, it, you know.
Yeah,
it's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't get into it. It was Dino Thunder. I heard of, what do you call it, you know.
I remember seeing it around, yeah.
Samurai. Didn't watch it. I know more or less about, what was it, Ninja Storm? Something like that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't watch it.
Yeah, and so again, you're watching someone who's just basically been binge watching the fucking Power Rangers a lot lately.
Yeah, you know, hang on.
Call me a fucking degenerate if you want, but
I don't think that's a degenerate thing.
You're just like
unless
a
you're
hardcore
watching it
fangirl.
for sexual, you know, reasons. In which case, I call you a filthy fucking degenerate.
Hi, Kim, wearing those tight skin. Fuck.
What? Excuse me.
No, it's because you mentioned that if he was being a degenerate, he was watching it purely for like the sexual deal, and then I had something in my mind that I was gonna like practically make fun of it, but I lost the wording.
We'll get back to you later, Kiko. We'll get back to you later.
Okay.
Just put your hand down for now.
But yeah, sorry if I got you guys lost for a bit. Like when I started going on, I was like, oh fuck, I don't think they're gonna understand it. But you know what, fuck, I'm just gonna keep going on.
I mean, it's fine. Kiko understood you.
I mean, I understand the good amount just because my nephew like watches Power Rangers, because he usually, you know, stays the night on the weekends, and the first thing I'll hear in the morning on Nickelodeon is Power Rangers Go, and it's like, oh, okay, what series is this? And it's like, so it's something really really repetitive, and I'm like, didn't they make that a season? And it's like, huh, they did, but why are they bringing this specific genre of Power Rangers back? And then I just kind of stopped caring afterwards, because, you know, nephew, he likes it. So I was just like, I might as well keep my mouth shut, because I've already seen so much of Power Rangers that I have no say to berate them.
Yeah, here's a question. What do you call it? What do you guys choose as, you know, if you wanted to have a midnight snack, what would you choose?
A midnight snack?
A midnight snack.
And when I don't mean like exactly at midnight. No, just like in the middle of the night. You know, everyone's asleep. You're feeling kind of peckish.
I'll basically, I don't know if you could count this as a snack, but fuck it,
I mean, food in general is fine.
I mean, that just depends on what's in your fridge, no? Like, what do you have available to you at that moment?
Yeah, fair enough. Probably some fucking Chinese food or chicken.
Alright. Now, have you guys ever done the thing where it's like, oh yeah, everyone's asleep, I gotta be super quiet about, you know, making the food?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most extreme thing that you've done to prevent anyone from waking up?
Oh.
Okay, Kiko, I swear to God, I feel like you did things to make sure people didn't wake up, but it wasn't related to food.
No. Yeah, there's been times where I actually took extreme precaution to make sure that my parents didn't wake up.
Oh dear.
I know it was just strictly for food.
I imagine
too.
this is like I imagine this is like crazy complex thing. Like you have to plan out. I'm like, I just make sure that my fucking microwave wasn't that loud.
I had
it's
to.
like, you know, you see, that's the thing. The usual thing is like, all right, you know, grabbing like you know, there's some fucking sweet bread in the goddamn plastic container, which is the loudest shit in the fucking world.
It's the
fucking it's the cake, the cake ones.
The cake. Well, no. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Or it comes in the same container.
Okay.
But like, yeah. You know, the plastic ones that make the fucking loud ass noise. You open that shit, your neighbors hear you opening that shit.
Be like, shut the fuck up.
Kiko, go on with your fucking MacGyver plan. What do you call it? And then I'll tell you guys why I brought this shit up.
Alright, so my main go-to, you know, snack is usually peanut butter and Ritz crackers.
Okay. That doesn't seem like a very complex thing to hide.
No, but the thing is...
Or to prepare.
Yeah. This seems relatively straightforward. I can't wait to see how you complicate it.
Alright, so the thing that my parents hate the most is when I usually get this midnight snack, it's mostly like me actually devouring so much of the crackers that nobody else can get any. And I somehow...
Okay, so they just hated the fact that you kept finishing it. Not that, you know, you were snacking at night. No, they just, like, they're like, oh, this little fucking shit eating all the Ritz crackers?
Yeah. None were left over, okay. Pretty simplistic,
but
right?
So, my mom would have this thing where she would listen out for me to, like, whenever she hears me whenever she hears me leave my room, she'd keep an ear out for the kitchen. And the moment the pantry door opens, there's a squeak. And it's like a very fucking loud squeak. And if you release, like if you don't have control on the door, pretty much whatever whatever amount of force that you had used to open it, continued until it hit something to stop it. So in the door hitting whatever like was around was pretty fucking loud. So what I would have to do is I would walk out of my room, I would check, you know, on my parents to make sure they're asleep. I would close their door as much as I could without raising suspicion. Then I would, you know, like tiptoe straight to the kitchen. Once I got to the pantry door, I open it as slow as I can with enough space to not make that squeak. Grab the Ritz, grab the peanut butter, slowly close the door, and then when it came to the Ritz crackers being taken out of the plastic, I had to make sure I wasn't making a lot of noise trying to open up the thing. And then, you know, once I got it open, I would just start eating as this. And I would repeat the same process, putting the stuff away. And then I would just go straight into my room afterwards. And you know, my parents would, they know it's me, but like, they hate the fact that they can't catch me in the act of eating Ritz with peanut butter.
What? That makes no sense. What? They know it's you, but they can't catch you? Huh?
Like that's the bit, you know. On the list of people that are potential suspects, I feel like it's a very short list. And they don't need to, like, really catch you in the act. It's just like, hey, we know you've been eating our fucking crackers.
I mean, there is my nephew, too.
You finish them, so you eat them in the kitchen, finish them, and put them in the container back, or throw it away, like...
No, I put the peanut butter container away, and whatever I haven't eaten of the Ritz crackers, that's what I would put back. But if I finish them...
Which are nearly done.
Yeah. But anyways, it's
and
pretty
your parents
much...
remember they can't catch you in the act. I still don't follow your story.
Okay, so
I'm just, like, you
Never
know...
mind, just
all right,
forget
so
it. Just forget it.
Your nephew is a potential suspect, yes?
Yes.
You know, I feel like at a certain point, they could just take a very simple measure to keep your fucking nephew from getting it. You know, like, oh, let's put it on a fucking high shelf where he'll have to, like, you know, spider monkey climb up to it, and he definitely won't be able to keep quiet if he does that. Oh, and it's like, well, you know, we can do that for him, but, you know, for, like, you, since you're a fucking grown-ass adult, you can reach the top shelf. You know, it's like, alright, who here can reach the top shelf without fucking, you know, being Spider-Man? Fucking Kiko.
I feel like the noise issues are probably more easy to deal with than anything. Like the door, just WD-40 that motherfucker. That's what it's for.
Even if there was WD-40 onto it, there would still be the squeak, and there would still be that little force. I mean, yeah, the squeak wouldn't be as loud.
I was gonna say, bro, fucking, what kind of door do you have? You know, WD-40 ain't gonna fucking solve that shit.
It's a wooden pantry door with metal screws. It's gonna be two things, if not nothing else: the screws or the hinge. That's all it is for a door to move. Just douse that motherfucker in WD-40, you know, and it'll be gone. As for the wrapper, I would just probably smuggle that shit to my room personally. Like, if I know I'm gonna kill it, I'll just smuggle that shit to the room.
At a certain, well, that's the other bit, you know. At a certain point, well, why aren't your parents just hiding Ritz crackers? Like, why, you know, it's like, hey, instead of like leaving it in the fucking pantry, let's just keep the Ritz crackers in our room if we want it to ourselves. It's like, hey, go ahead, come on, come get it. We'll fucking see you, bitch.
Honestly,
like, oh, your nephew wants some? Alright, you know, he can come to our room and ask. And we'll give him a total of 2 crackers, so he doesn't finish them.
Yeah, if only shit works like that.
Wait, doesn't a Ritz box have like 2 wrappers worth of the actual... Yeah. Why not just take one and then leave the other one in the box? Take one for yourself while you go to your room with the one you took. That way you still have at least half the whole thing.
I thought Ritz came with 4.
And that's even more reason. Like, you could just have a whole ass one to yourself. Or you know what? Why? Hang on. If it's such an issue, just have another box of Ritz crackers.
Hey man, have you met my dad?
No, obviously not.
Yeah, he's another... I mean, he's another suspect, but even then, he makes it really... What's it called? Easy to... Fuck. Sorry, I am losing...
He's not as sneaky.
Yeah, it's because the fucker doesn't really do anything with his life, so he just, like, sits down, goes through the pantry, whatever he finds that's edible, he'll eat, and not give 2 shits about, despite the fact that some of the stuff he's eating isn't supposed to be, you know, on his list due to his diabetic life. God damn, I need to stop trying to sound smart. Pretty much, dude has diabetes. Half of the shit that he eats, it's causing that shit to come back even harder.
So basically, he's not allowed to eat it, but he eats it regardless.
See,
said. Now, let's get to why I brought this up. So, the other day I was talking to my mom. We were just having mother-son conversations. The usual of, oh, Miho, remember when you used to do this in high school? And it's like, yeah, I remember that. And she's like, yeah, well, your brother kind of does the same thing. I'm like, oh, crazy. But the one thing that, he did, that it's fucking wild. And I'm struggling to understand it. So, my little brother got hungry one night. And, I felt that. Sometimes you get a little hungry, you make yourself a midnight snack. God knows that I've made myself ramen, in the middle of the night on a school night. I've done that. I've felt that. So, my brother's food of choice was waffles. Personally, I find this to be a very respectable choice. That's fine. I can understand.
Super early breakfast, okay?
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, why not?
It's a fine snack. Hey, breakfast for dinner. Now, the part where I'm like, what? Excuse me? I don't know. I'm guessing he was trying to, not get caught. Fucking making waffles at 3 in the fucking morning. He made the waffles in the bathroom.
How the
he took the fucking waffle iron into the bathroom, and he was just making them fucking waffles in the bathroom.
How the
okay, yeah, number one, that's not sanitary at all.
Not at all.
Number two, so the reason that my mom fucking caught him is, so, she woke up in the middle of the night because she smelled something burning.
Oh.
Yeah. And, so, she went downstairs and is like, wait, but the kitchen, the kitchen light is off. There's nothing on in here and there's no one in here, which, that's how she's caught me before. Because I left the fire on a little bit too long. So she keeps following the smell, and she opens up the bathroom door, finding my little brother making himself some fucking waffles. And
where's the bathroom?
Okay, so I was trying to theorize about that. I'm like, why the bathroom? I was trying to think about that too. I'm like, okay, if I had to take a guess, because we've had the issue before. Well, okay, no. We've had the issue where, on occasion, the steam from the bathroom, after, a nice hot shower, it set off the fire alarm before. Which, we've never really had that issue happen, with cooking things in the kitchen. But again, motherfuckers trying to hide it into a nice snack. But if you leave the bathroom door closed, and then, leave the shower, after you get out of the shower, the steam's all in the bathroom, just leave real quick, and then close the door behind you. Eventually the steam will fade and the alarm won't go off. Well, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe what it is he didn't want the waffle smell to be, stuck in his room. Because, then when my mom goes to wake him up in the morning, it's like, wait, hold up, why the fuck does your room smell like waffles? And so the next logical choice in a place where, I guess you can't set off the fire alarm would be the bathroom. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like the kitchen is still, I don't know. How many fucking waffles is that's the question.
How much does the maker hold at once? 2?
Once, if I remember right, I think it's 1 or 2. It's not that many. But
is it the one I'm thinking of, the basic the waffle press where it's you have to sandwich it in to warm it up?
Oh yeah. It is exactly that one.
Okay, so usually unless it's big enough, they make them in 1 or 2, no more than 2, because it's a big flat iron for a fucking waffle basically. I'm thinking those aren't loud. they cannot be loud. It's just it's a flat iron for a waffle. You just psst, there you go.
And toaster, maybe those don't even like. I know the one that we have, or I don't know if it's still the same one, but the one that we had back at home, it didn't even like make a beep. It had like a little light, and the light would come on or off depending on whether it was ready or not. And like, you know, when that was kind of like the indication as well with the click on whether to like throw in another waffle.
Right. So I mean, even a toaster makes more noise than that because you have to, you know, put the spring down, let it pop up, and everything. That's probably a bit louder than the actual maker itself. Like, if I'm making a midnight snack, my first thing is, what do I need, and how much noise does it make? You know, my worst culprit will probably always be the microwave. You know, hot buckets, microwave. Pizza rolls, microwave. Warm up some quick chicken noodle soup, microwave. Whatever. I just want to make sure I press the 0 or open the door before the fucking 1 beeps, and it's that dee, and it won't after like 5 beats, which I know is loud as fuck at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But a waffle maker in the bathroom, like even the smell from the kitchen can't be that strong. I don't think.
I mean, obviously my mom was able. Like, look, I don't know. Maybe my mom just got a really good nose, but bathroom, they're fucking a whole floor away. You know, with the door closed. Well, I guess you know that there's probably a vent in there. It might have been through there, so he might have fucked.
If he burned it, maybe if he burned it, I get that. But I still think it makes more sense to still have that be done in the actual kitchen than the fucking bathroom.
Well, here's the thing, you know, I was trying to rationalize it. I'm like, okay, you know, he probably just didn't want the smell in his room. My mom has actually found the waffle maker in his bedroom before. And I'm like, she hasn't caught him making the waffles in his bedroom, but she's like found the evidence in there afterwards. You know, she'll like find an old plate with some syrup, or something like that. She'll find the evidence. And I'm like, you know what? I told him, or what do you call it? So he was like nearby the phone. I'm like, mom, tell him next time just to breathe the first floor. You're not gonna smell it. You know what? Now I think about it, maybe my mom just does have a really good sense of smell. Because back in high school, I was like home alone one time, and what do you call it? You know, I'm not gonna lie. There were a lot of things that, you know, I never really did as a kid that, you know, I was like, you know what, I should try it out. And one of the things where it's dumb, it's really fucking dumb, but I wanted to play with some fucking matches.
Oh god.
Because I was like, okay, there's gonna come a point in time where, like, I need to, you know, I'm gonna need to use some matches, but I don't really know, like, I've seen them used before, but I've never actually done it, and I don't want to, like, use them for the first time, like, in front of people, and then bam, I fucking burn myself. So, we had a few matches at home. I just, like, I lit 2 of them. Just like, alright, cool, easy, I know how to do this now. Skill acquired. My mom gets home. Immediately, she's like, why is it smelling fire? Were you playing with matches? I'm like, no. She found the evidence. I'm like, yeah.
God damn, fucking. She should work as a detective or something like that. Fucking smell the bullshit.
I was gonna say,
I think we all had a play with matches phase in our childhood, because I know me and my other cousin did. We had matches. We just kept lighting them, blowing them out, and lighting them again, and blowing them out again.
I did the same fucking thing.
We hit them in a very, like, smart yet dumb spot, because, like, it's in a place where you would never see it unless you actually had to move the house around. So it was behind an old decorative, like, I think wall piece that was, like, on the bottom towards the corner of the floor. So we put it behind there. And honestly, like, it's never moved. It's always been there, so we just threw the burnt matches behind that. And, hey, you can smell it. And they caught us because we had the empty box. Like, oh, yeah, where are the rest?
That's how they get you.
And like,
it's like, hey, hold on.
Where are the rest of them? Over there? Where? Like, behind the thing. What the fuck? Like, when was this? Like, oh no, kind of a few hours ago. You guys kind of late on the party. It happened a while ago, so.
Hey,
anything burned down now, it's too
like
late.
That time that, you know, They were so late on the party. It was years later after we broke that fucking dog statue.
Oh yeah. They still remember that shit. They never forget.
Dude, I still bring that up sometimes to people. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be real. I remember when me and Ricky got caught, you know, having broken the dog statue. And, you know, immediately when questioned with it, sold Ricky out. I was like, and look, that's not even like the first time that kind of thing has happened, and I just straight up sold Ricky out.
Yeah, I think that's one reason why they know for sure between the two of us, like, because I've been there at Grandma's house, talking to Grandma and your mom being there, that they ultimately decided that it was you that broke it, like, it was you. I was there, I was present, but, like, I'm not the one who physically broke it off the thing.
I was gonna say, I remember the other time that I sold you out was the first time that we ever looked at porn. Do you remember what it was, Ricky?
Were we at Ross at the time in middle school?
Hey, dude, it might have even been before that, because I think, okay, here's how I remember it. I want to say I was like 10, give or take. It was when Naruto first started showing up on Toonami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what do you call it? You were like, hey, you know,
I found this website and I showed you. I was like, look at this.
You're like, hey, look. And it was just fucking a website full of Naruto hentai.
I think the more cringy is because I didn't know what like things were canon, so I thought everything that was drawn there was canon. Like,
There are a couple. Ricky and I were both so lost because we thought it was canon.
Like, see, there were a couple. I told you they're gonna be together. It's like it's all right there. Like, what? No, that's not even how they're drawn. Like, that's not the correct proportions at all. Like, it's not part of the show. It looks so real.
You know, and that's the thing. Because of how young I was, you know, at the same time, I was just like, these are some titties? I'm not in this right now. I am not at the maturity level to appreciate this for what it is. And then, fucking, after that was the last time that, you know, we ever went there, on that site.
Yeah.
But, you know. Yeah,
the show was,
Grandma and my mom, they were like, hey, you guys looking at this stuff? And immediately I'm like, Ricky did it, he showed me. Like, it was all him. I'm like, I didn't want to look at it.
I don't remember being confronted about that because, yeah, I don't think, like, they never asked me about why it was that specifically or, like, when that curiosity started, I guess, in their eyes. Like, all I know because I had another friend, I guess at the time they were, before where I know what weebs were, he was an anime weeb and he loved also Naruto too. Yeah. He found like the thing where he got like, he had everything. He had the fake kunais, he had the fucking costumes, and he brought up where what I thought was like, oh, you can see what they're going to be like growing up and what's kind of like, yeah, see so-and-so and together and all this. Like, oh shit, really? Like, yeah, you can see how they're going to be with the, all this and that. Like, what I thought was, I think, Naruto Shippuden or some other shit before it was actually a thing. Like, yeah, it's canon. Like, yeah, it's canon. Like, is it? Like, yeah, look at this. Like, this doesn't look right. Like, yeah, that's the characters. I know that's them, but like, that doesn't look right from what you expect or what's supposed to be.
It's like, you know, why does this character have such big titties? They don't look like they're supposed to be like that. Wait, this is when they're older? They look like they're still children.
Yeah, it threw me off, honestly, a lot at the time. And I was like, what, yeah, 10 or 11? So I was like, yeah, this is not part of the show. It's not from the show at all.
I felt the same fucking way when this might be a little bit off topic, or somewhat. Actually, no, you continue, Ricky. I'll say what I'm about.
Well, I was gonna say the other thing, because I was like, wait, how'd you guys know? Because I don't know which one you cleared, Ricky. You either or no, I think you deleted the browser history so that we wouldn't get caught.
Right. So we were that smart, bossy, not smart enough.
Well, I was gonna say I wasn't that smart because I was still, you know, I was still small and you know, illiterate with computers, except for CartoonNetwork.com.
Oh yeah, all the games that site had, and those were fun games.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
God,
bro. But,
yeah.
no. What they were like? All right, so you know, you guys fucked up with you guys covered your tracks with this, but where you fucked up is you didn't delete the search history, so it auto completes, and it's like it's like, so we deleted the browser history, but not the search history.
Big oof.
Yeah. I think what I was about to say is, as like when you guys mentioned that you guys confused hentai with canon, I had the same fucking problem when it came down to the live action Resident Evil movies and comparing it to the games. I was like, wait a minute, this looks a lot different because I was a kid back then. And I was so confused about like what was canon in the games and what was not canon. And
I did the same thing with the Resident Evil movies and the Resident Evil books.
Yeah, I was so fucking confused at the time. I was like, what the fuck? Like, where's Alice during all this shit? It's like,
Yeah, like, you're over here playing Resident Evil 5, like, you know who would help with this? Where's Alice at?
Yeah, that's why I said. It's like, where's Alice during all this shit? It's like, isn't the movie isn't this based off from the game? Why is this not, like, where's Alice?
See, I made a very similar mistake as well with Devil May Cry. Because when the fucking reboot came out, since I hadn't played, you know, Devil May Cry 4 or 2, and I hadn't finished 3, I thought it was still like a part of the same story. So I was like, damn, so this is Dante before he got the fucking white hair? Crazy. Now the real embarrassing part is I was in high school. And I definitely should have understood more.
I remember people saying that shit when it was announced. I remember like my friends back in school were like dude, they're making another Devil May Cry game. It's called DMC. Like, it's so much. Like, Dante looks so much different. They claimed it was a fucking sequel. They claimed it was a damn sequel. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, you know, Dante looks a bit different. Dante looks honestly a bit different compared to Devil May Cry 4.
A bit?
So, I said that when I was like back in school. I was like, you know, Dante looks a bit different. Like, I don't understand like the whole haircut, the gun changes, like, especially the rebellion. It's like, what's wrong with the sword? Like, I'm like, is this even our Dante?
Hashtag not our Dante.
Yeah.
I say that, but I enjoyed DMC.
Yeah, it was pretty decent for me. I like the soundtrack and the combat. I'll say that.
Everyone hated the story. I was okay with it. I recognize the issues, but you know what? I like trash.
You know what? You're not alone.
But you know what? I might like trash, but even I know that the fucking Star Wars trilogy is bad. The new one.
Yeah, I'm not favorite out of the 3.
Speaking of trash, but somewhat good. Have y'all played or at least watched playthroughs of Cyberpunk?
Nope. No. Well, I mean, fucking. I watched a friend play a bit of it. Not lately, but you know, back when it first came out.
Well, let me tell you something right now about Cyberpunk's story. Is that it's one of the best written stories I've seen in somewhat years. Like, it's so like, there are parts of the game that made me fucking cry. Like, they kill off a character like that was technically my favorite, even though he stays in there for like 1 hour, but yet somehow like you develop somewhat of a bit of connection. And once this character dies, I just ended up starting to fucking cry a bit. And one of the endings I've gotten for Cyberpunk made me cry like a fucking little bitch. And I would say the characters of Cyberpunk are just well fucking written, especially even Johnny Silverhand. Just
and to an extent, what do you call it? Well, with the whole Cyberpunk thing, which I feel this goes beyond just Cyberpunk, but when it comes to a lot of things that draw on another source material, being good is just kind of expected. Because, I mean, you know, Cyberpunk, that was based off of the tabletop game.
Yeah, you know.
Which I've actually played the tabletop game. It's pretty fun.
I'll play it.
It's just a lot of things to remember and a lot of stats. But it's when it comes to CD Projekt Red, it was the same thing with the Witcher series. Those are good games, don't get me wrong. They're fun. They've got a pretty good story. But at the same time, it's par for the course because it was based off of, like, at least the story is based off of something else.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember getting into, like, a couple of arguments with people, like, was saying on how Cyberpunk was such an original IP by CD Projekt Red, and I was like, but it's based off of a tabletop game. Like, it's not anything new. Like, maybe the characters are original, but the tabletop game, or at least the universe it takes place in, is not.
And that's the thing, you know, while they can throw in original characters and shit, like Johnny Silverhand, he's an already existing character in the tabletop.
Yeah.
But like a year ago, I was on another podcast and we were doing Cyberpunk speculation. And one of the dudes was actually like a really big fan of the tabletop. And he's like, well, I mean, if you play the tabletop, you know the whole deal with Johnny Silverhand. And it's like, oh yeah, what was the deal? And he's like, oh yeah, this and that. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So, I mean, in a sense, it kind of, I don't know. Knowing the source material can spoil certain things.
Yeah. I'll be honest. When I first heard of Cyberpunk back in 2018, I didn't know it was based off of or at least had the license from a tabletop game. So I was like completely new to it. But when I heard it was around like next year when the Keanu Reeves trailer came out, I was just like, oh, that's interesting. You know, I'm pretty interested to see what the tabletop game is and how Cyberpunk. I believe it was Cyberpunk Red that set up 2077, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, I was interested in the tabletop games and see how it would go. And basically around like last year of 2020, the game had more of my interest because I heard somewhat about the story, heard somewhat about the tabletop game, and basically I was like, you know what, I'm quite interested in what this game has to offer. I'm gonna probably buy it. I'm probably gonna pre-order it just to see how the story is, and if it's good, it's good, and if it's not, it's not, and I'll be like, oh, I wasted my fucking money on this shit. But despite all the bugs and glitches, it still had a good story. It had an amazing, well, basically in my opinion, an amazing story. Good side characters, good main characters, all that. But the interesting thing is how, what's going to happen from here, It's like, but at the moment.
Well, I mean, CD Projekt Red is dealing with the hacks.
Yeah, pretty much, so. But either way, I'm interested in playing the tabletop game at one point or another if anyone has it.
It's just about, having someone who's a DM for that.
Yeah.
Which, ironically, that's not on the list of things that I'm a DM. fact that my throat is dying at this point, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We never did an intro for this week just because we kind of got right into it. But thank you all for joining me, and it's been much.